My name is John Stevens. I'm the brand new executive director for the North Haven Conservation Partners. We are here at Sage Woods, one of the properties that we hold easements on. Ted and Hope Sage were very generous to donate the conservation public access easements to this property. They had been managing this property for a long time, had a great network of trails. It's a really valuable asset because it's so close to town. It's right in the village. People have a misconception, and I fight it all the time, between well-manicured forests and well-managed forests. But if you look here, you can see that, there's good understory coming up, which is great. There is still some standing dead trees, which is great habitat. There's still some down coarse woody debris. A lot of times what they've done is just flattened it as opposed to hauling it out. It adds nutrients back into the soil. It adds structure for wildlife. Those are all good signs of a well-managed forest. Tar Tank is one of our other properties. It's a beautiful beach with some of the better sunset views looking at Camden Hills. It is suffering from erosion between climate change, increased storm activity, rising sea levels. There is some pretty serious erosion happening there. We've worked with an engineer. We've got an engineered plan. We've got permitting in place, and we're about to put it out to bid to stabilize that section of bank. I'm hoping to get it started working on this fall. The Cabot fields, the Cabots have a lot of property. We have easements on one field. Anyone can go there. It's for multi-use. You can hike there, walk your dog there, go hunting there. It's got a great beach. What I like about it is it's helping to support continued agriculture here on the island. Sam and Doreen have been, have continued to farm that property probably since the early 70s, and it's one of their hay fields. That's one of those properties that's really probably hard. People probably don't realize that we have any easements on that. Pulpit Harbor was probably our newest property. The town has a dock and float there for fishermen to use. We own that property where that dock is, and we want to support, a working waterfront and the fishing community. Parking has been a real issue in the small parking lot, so we added a parking lot, which added, 5 or 6 parking spots. We've added a couple picnic tables. Beyond being, used by local fishermen, it's also a very popular spot for people cruising, so people come off their sailboats, now they've got a little trail, they've got a picnic table. We are adding a kiosk there which will have some information both about North Haven Conservation Partners, but also about the community, where the store is, where different things are. I think that's geared specifically for cruisers or people on boats who are coming off there. I think North Shore is probably one of our most popular trails. It goes out, again, to this little overlook with great western views, sunsets. We've added a picnic table out there. There is a lot of buckthorn on that property that we're really trying to manage. It's a very aggressive, invasive. We'll be doing a lot of cutting, mowing. Another thing that we've been doing out at the North Shore property is we've started planting trees. What we did when we planted trees, we put down a brush mat, which is a piece of fabric that tries to keep competition from growing up around them. And then we added the tree tubes primarily to keep deer from browsing. We have a large deer population here on the island, and it's very hard to grow trees that don't get browsed. So. The Pellick Thomas property, it's a really great property. It protects a lot of shoreland along Southern Harbor, and it's a mowed path. It's flat, it's easy, anyone can walk it. Great views, great sunset views. A lot of pollinators, bees, butterflies, and also certain bird species. They like and rely on taller grass and the forbs, sedges, and other plants that grow in those fields, goldenrod, things like that. And so by moving the mowing back, it allows, nesting ground birds to have nested and fledged. It allows the insects, the pollinators, butterflies, birds, to have, utilized gotten the honey, the nectar that they need. Burn Island is actually owned by the town of North Haven, and so we work in partnership with them. We hold public access and conservation easements, and we work with the town and the Mullins Head Park Commission to manage it. We put a float out there every year so that boaters can access the property. There is a perimeter trail and a trail up over the middle. There's great beaches. The trail, you can access it from the shore sign. The Cobb family has very generously allowed parking and access from their property on the North Haven side. And you have probably a 2-hour window on either side of low tide to access that. You want to pay attention so you don't get stuck over there. I think a lot of boaters use that. I know schooners come in and use that property.
No way.
I've always just loved small islands, and the smaller the better. It feels like you're kind of self-contained when you're on an island. You're kind of the master of the kingdom. The next 12 months are going to be busy. Really want to focus on improving our trails, trying to control, or at least start controlling, the invasive species on our properties. We've got newly developed maps that we're have ready to share. All that will hopefully allow people to know where our properties are. I would like both the summer community and our year-round community to use these trails on a regular basis. I think a lot of people who've been coming here for forever or live here have a pretty good idea, but I bet they still don't know all the properties. I will be out in the woods as much as humanly possible. I'm technologically challenged. I don't like to go inside when it's daylight. So yes, I'd like to see people out walking their dog, or going skiing, or just utilizing it, hanging out at the beach, going for a picnic. And I feel like right now especially is a great time to do that.